Did you ever do that? Did you ever say the answer for the video we watched?
Not yet. Next time I will. All right. Opener, quiz review for today. 3 problems. Let's start out with the first one. The first one is by far the most important to me because this is the law of cosines where we're finding an unknown angle. I rewrote mine on my notebook software, so I'm going to go this way. This is what I want. Your quiz has 16 questions, but you don't have to solve for the whole triangle. You have to solve just like these 3 questions where it says solve for the missing part of the triangle using law of cosines or law of sines, and you're going to be given what you need to solve for. So you don't have to solve for the whole triangle. I still want you to make the chart though. So your answer, I should see a chart. It just won't always be all filled in. All right, we're going to plug in what we know. A is 9, B is 3, and C is 7 with the chart. The only other thing we need to fill in this chart is what B is. All right. I would love to use law of sines, but I cannot. How come I cannot use law of sines? Correct. I do not have an angle on the corresponding side, so I know I have to use law of cosines. On your formula sheet, A, B, or C squared, which one am I going to use? B squared, because that's the angle I'm looking for is side B. B squared equals A squared plus C squared minus 2AC cos of B. Plug in everything we know right here at this step. What's B squared? 9 equals A squared is 81 plus C squared is 49 minus 2 times 9 times 3 or times, nope, 7, excuse me. That's a 7. Cos of B. Crunch numbers. Right now I'm going to work left to right. I'm going to say 9 equals 81 plus 49 is 130 minus, and I have to multiply this. Do not subtract 2 right away. 2 times 9 times 7 is 126 cosine of B. Good job. Here's where 99.9% of all errors on this quiz happen. What do I need to do first?
Minus the 130 over.
Subtract the 130 over, because I can't do anything with this cos of B and 126 that's attached right now. So I'm going to subtract 130 over to the other side. I'm going to get a negative 121.
Divide by a negative 126.
That's right, equals negative 126 cos of B.
Is this when you do the second cosine?
This is because we're solving for an angle.
So whenever you solve for angle, you always do the second.
Okay. Yep. So because the negative 126 is attached to cosine B, it's multiplying to undo multiplication. I'm going to divide. Don't lose your negative sign. So in my calculator, I need to actually get a calculator up here. I'm going to do negative 121 divided by negative 126. I'm going to get mine up so everybody can check theirs to make sure it's working. Online trade calculator. Let's reset. Okay. Web 2.0. Okay. Just so you know, a little FYI on this quiz, you can take the cosine of a negative decimal. When you do that on your quiz, make sure that you have parentheses. If you ever end up with a negative decimal, it's still okay to do this if this is a negative 0.96. Just make sure you have parentheses. Cosine, inverse cosine, you guys are probably going to round this to 0.96 and get just a slightly different decimal than I will. But it's okay because it still rounds to the same degree. What degree is that?
16.
16. So my answer for B is 16 degrees. All right, any questions for me on number 1?
Just hold on. What?
No. All right, number 2. Again, set up your chart. A, B, and C. A, B, and C. B is 14. C is 11, and angle B is 73. What formula am I using for this one?
Sines.
Law of sines, because I have a corresponding angle and a corresponding side. So I have my B's. So the one I'm going to use is sine of B over side B equals, and I'm solving for C, I'm going to set up sine of C over side C. Sine of what I know B is 73 over side B is 14 equals sine of angle C, no idea what angle C is right now, over side C, which was 11. How do you solve proportions? Cross multiply. Multiply sine of 73 times 11. 11. Set it equal to sine of C times 14. Get sine of C by itself. I'm going to divide both sides by 14. Am I going to get a whole number or a decimal here? Decimal. Nothing bigger than 1 here because I'm looking for an angle. So 14s cancel out. Sine of 73 times 11, all over 14. Make sure your calculator's in the right mode right now. And again, you might round that, so might have a slightly different decimal than I have. Cos inverse or sine inverse? Sine inverse, because we're doing the law of sines. I've had quizzes, I've had kids do these quizzes before and mix up sine and cos. So be real careful with that. How many degrees when I round to the nearest degree? 49 degrees. What was that? See? It's 49 degrees. And there's my answer right there, part of my chart. Any questions for me on number 2? Law of sines? All right. Last one, should be our favorite, is area. The first 4 questions on this quiz today are on area. The area formulas are at the top of this quiz today. And Heron's formula is not on here. Which one's Heron's formula? Yeah, with 3 sides. None of the area ones you have are 3 sides. You have a side times the angle in between. So for this one, we're going to say the area formula to use is 1/2 A times B sine of the angle in between, which is C. And that's on our formula sheet, right up at the top. You choose the one that has the sides you know. Area is 1/2 A, which is 8, times B, which is 6, times the sine of C, which is 120. And your calculator's pretty good at doing this. 0.5 times, I can't remember what I had now. 8 times 6 times the sine of 120. Round to the nearest 10, and don't forget to put your label. What's the label for this area? Unit squared, or square unit. So I'm going to go 20.8 square unit. Sure. U with the square works too. Right, do we have any questions on the purple worksheet from last time? Yep. Okay. 16 problems, just like these. I know 16 seems kind of a lot for a quiz, but think about it, you're not solving the whole triangle, you're just solving for a specific side, so it's really not too bad. You should get done pretty quickly. What I'm going to hand out right now is not your quiz, it's your chapter review worksheet. This is not your quiz right now, this is your chapter review worksheet. We have our test next block. The test is only over SOHCAHTOA and then this stuff that we're quizzing over today. SOHCAHTOA is right triangle. The last 15 minutes of the block, we're going to go over a trapezoid problem, and that's going to be about the only test review we have. In the morning. How do I do that? You have one I do that. Oh, it's purple.
No, yeah, can I take this tomorrow morning? Can I take the quiz tomorrow morning? I'd like to study over it a little bit.
Were you not here all the time?
Yeah, I was.
Oh.
You can put it in a PowerPoint.